Well, welcome to the Okanogan Forest channel, and welcome to 2020. It's amazing to me that this cabin has lasted all these years, way more than a decade, and is still giving really good service. But I'm up here now in the beginning of the new year, and I want to take a simple video and kind of show you around. Of course, inside a cabin like this off the grid, everything is pretty rough, but I'm going to just take a quick look because we haven't looked since I've done some changes. Thing is, you come up here and you always do changes. One of the changes is I've got this beautiful map of Washington State up on the wall in a kind of a reading area by the window, and I've got some certificates from my daughter that has done very well with scholarship. Here you can see kind of the table where all the wood is for the fire, and of course this time of year fireplace is very important. When I came up here and opened up the cabin, inside the cabin it was 18 degrees Fahrenheit. It was cold, but in short order we were able to get the fire going, and right now we have a really nice fire going there in the wood stove, all wood off the place here, and it works really well. And I tell you, it didn't take long at all in this refrigerated container cabin to really, well, what can I say? Get nice, warm, and toasty. Now I'm going to sit down here for a minute by the fire. This is what it looks like when you're sitting in one of the chairs by the fire. You can kind of be by the stove and it's nice and warm. But what I'm going to do then is go just up above and take a look. There's the kitchen. You've seen that before, but I guess what I want to say is there's a black skillet on the left and also a black skillet on the right. Both of those are from the 1880s. And it's really kind of fun to come up here and make pans on a griddle that has been making pancakes, since the 1880s. I kind of think about that and think, well, you know what? People were using this griddle when Chief Joseph was a young man. That's kind of interesting. At least it is to me. The other thing about it is that they were gotten at Goodwill, so they cost me virtually nothing. I don't know, about 10 bucks I guess it was. But let's go around, pan around, and we'll go outside here in just a minute. But there's the big picture window, and that's all that is a clear shower curtain, and I've got plywood for down below, but that works great, and it lets in all this light at this time of year. You've seen this before, but I'll just go by it real quick. There's the library up there, and I've kind of trimmed it down just a little bit, but it's nice to have books, short stories, and other things like that are of interest when you come up to the cabin. Now let me stand up again and take a look up here. You'll see something that's kind of interesting. Those are some cups up there, but I've got my sterno up there. Why? Because when I got here at 18 degrees, those wouldn't work in the little stove. But it even goes a little farther than that. If you look here, my cooking olive oil is liquid now. When I got here, it was olive butter. It was hard as could be. And so I like to put those things above the stove so that they'll warm up pretty quick. So let's go ahead and panorama out back here, and you can see the office and things that are here for people to see. And this is, again, I'm up here by myself at this point, so there's my bunk. And it really is kind of nice. It's a real pleasure to be up here. And of course, candles, since this is off the grid, candles are very important. So I enjoy using candles up here because they're quiet and they have a kind of a warm light to them. And so I use a lot of candles, but you can see I also have these electric lanterns. And I gotta tell you, they're just great. I decided to have an experiment and just leave this one up here on and see how long it took for the first set of batteries. Well, I haven't used up the first set of batteries yet, and I just leave it on all the time. And that's just really kind of remarkable. The other big thing that I did, and I'll say hello by showing this to you, is I put a big mirror in the end of the container cabin, and what that does is it bounces the light all around. This again was a Goodwill purchase. I think it cost me $10, but I got it in here, and it just makes this end of the container really, really lovely. Now let me say, for those that are concerned about ventilation, you see that vent up there? That's open. So air's coming through there, and it's circulating through the door as well. So let's go ahead and turn around and kind of look at the whole cabin. You can kind of see the desk and everything there. So let's go outside. Let's go out and see what it's like here in the Okanogan early in 2020. Fire's going good, so I know when I get back it'll be nice and warm. Now, this step out here, and there's ice. This step out here is a little tricky, so you're going to have to be patient with me. And then we're going to have to see whether or not the camera is going to adjust. My eyes certainly haven't. But here we are outside now. And there you can kind of see the outhouse. And big, beautiful blue sky coming in. Let's go around the corner here. I've got another thermometer. I want to just see what the temperature is. Try to get a temperature reading. Well, it shows me that it's... What's the temperature there? Can you see that? All right, that's the temperature outside, and yet inside the cabin, it's warm and toasty. You can look up there, and there's the smokestack, and some smoke's coming out a little bit. And you can also see the beautiful snow on the trees. It is just so beautiful up here. I just really enjoy the tranquility. So let's walk down this way. Be patient with me as we go around the backside. Let me say I've got my winter. Well, I gotta show you that view. That is so beautiful. Just looking up through the forest up towards the hill above me. Beautiful, beautiful day. But I want to turn around here and kind of show you the wood that I've got stored for winter visits underneath the container. And of course the container's up off the ground, so it provides that little space for keeping some things dry and out of the weather. I did have some sticks here at this end one time. It was a mistake. I put a bunch of sticks in there I thought would be good for starting fire, and a pack rat came in and made a nest, so I pulled those out. There's another view up the hill. All the beautiful, 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 beautiful snow on the trees, blue sky. You know, it's about as pretty as you'd want to have it, I think. Well, let's go ahead and walk around the back end of the container cabin and look down to where the creek is. You won't hear any creek running now, of course, because it's pretty much all frozen. Although I was down at my neighbor's, and he's got an open spot where there's open water still on the bigger creek. So let's just wander around here a little bit. There isn't much snow here right now, and that's actually kind of a concern. I'm always at this time of year I'm wishing for lots of snow, and that's looking across the valley again. And there's the flagpole. Don't have a flag out there now because it's winter, and like I said, I'm here by myself. But let's walk out there, and you can see in the distance. Let me walk over here, and then I'll stop so that you can kind of see the hill and there you go. And that's another beautiful view up into the trees and the mountain across the valley on the other side. That's state forestry land, and it comes down to my property. So what's nice about it is that nobody else will have the land between me and the state forestry land. Come out here to where the flagpole is, and I'll just kind of pan around for you. That right there is why I come up here. As crazy as it seems, but just look at how beautiful and quiet. And I've heard a few critters, not many. Heard a coyote a little earlier, and there's a few little birds out. Other than that, it's kind of quiet. I heard a squirrel bark. And that, again, that big blue now tarp is my trailer that I just sit there for most of the year. It just kind of stores up here. But there's the shot of the container as it now looks. I did put a roof on it. You can see it's got a plastic bisqueen tarp on top so that it would be less likely to leak. And that was a good quality roof that will probably last me maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 years at least and cost me about $80. So I'm happy with that. Now what's interesting here is you can look right down here and here's some tracks. I don't know if these will come up well, but yeah, there you go. Some critter's been up here kind of going through. They're animal tracks. And we'll come over here and look up at the mountain again on this side. And I'm going to just walk again over here. I hear some birds. I don't know if you can hear them. It is kind of quiet at this time of year, especially without a wind. There's just absolutely no wind whatsoever. And there's the outhouse over there. Came in handy this morning, let me tell you. And again, looking up at the mountains. Now you might ask, well, where's my vehicle? I parked right up at the top of the gate, and I do that in the winter like this for a reason. I've got a good battery, but I know if my battery doesn't work when I want to pull out here, I've got a downhill compression start, which will get my motor going. So I always park up there. And anyway, it's fine, not a problem. So let's continue to walk around here a little bit. And there's a view of the entrance of the container cabin. And the way I've got that sliding plywood there so that I can slide it back and forth. Now, be honest, it still leaks some air, but that's what you want. The container is so tight when you've got a fire going in there that you've got to have some air coming in. And I leave the door open at night when I'm up here, believe it or not. There are a lot of these city slickers that'd be nervous about that, but I don't have a problem with it at all. I just close up the bottom half. I have the plastic across. And when sunrise comes, I can tell that the sun is coming. It's kind of nice, really. So I'm going to just kind of walk out towards the outhouse here and kind of get a look at things from over here, and then we'll turn this thing off. There's the outhouse, doing good. I gotta laugh. That's the most expensive structure here. I mean, individual costs, other than the container itself. Everything else has been really pretty cheap, and I don't know if you noticed, but virtually everything inside, now watch me slip here. Virtually everything inside my cabin came from Goodwill. And it's very, very, it's very, very frugal. The whole arrangement is just really frugal. And I think that's kind of a nice shot right there of the cabin, the way it looks at this time of year. Let me go out just a little bit farther, get another shot from out here in the kind of the side meadow. If I can get out here a little farther without, again, falling on my tush. Be patient. Well, I think you can just barely see my transportation up there at the top of the hill. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and turn around here and have another look at, there's the outhouse, there's the cabin, there's some smoke coming out of the fireplace, and it is just absolutely a beautiful day here in the Okanogan Highlands. And it's what makes me want to come up here. It's so quiet and so peaceful. None of that traffic in the western part of the state. Just quiet and nice. The other thing that you may not be able to see it here, but there's ponderosa pine, there's Englemann spruce, Douglas fir, a lot of different beautiful trees here as well. So I'm going to say goodbye for now, and the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to put this way out like this and try to turn around so that I can say a hello to all my friends. Now, hello there, and welcome to the Okanogan Forest Channel. Welcome to the Okanogan Highlands. And you know what? A place like this isn't that difficult to do if you just plan and take the time to do it. Good luck to you. Love to hear from you. Good luck with your project.